In this training, we'll be talking about LLMs and starting to build a beautiful partnership with the LLM of your choice. First things first, let's talk about what an LLM is. LLM stands for large language model, and it's a type of artificial intelligence that's been trained on vast amounts of data. And that data has come from the internet, from books, and from other sources. This training allows it to understand patterns and generate human-like outputs based on inputs that it receives. And we'll be talking a lot about those inputs or prompts in this course. Imagine you have a really big library that's filled with all kinds of books and information. Now, imagine there's a magical librarian in the library who's read every book and knows every piece of information in the library. This librarian remembers everything. And when you ask the magical librarian a question, they don't just give you an answer from one book that they know. They think about everything that they've read, and they try to come up with the best possible answer using all that knowledge that they have. An LLM, or large language model, is like the magical librarian. When you interact with an LLM, you're essentially giving it a starting point through your prompts, and it's predicting what a good response would be based on everything that it knows, which is a lot. LLMs can be used for various tasks like answering questions, writing content and stories, translating languages, brainstorming, coding, problem-solving, decision-making, and so much more. It can do so much. So it's like having a brilliant partner by your side that's ready to help you tackle any challenge. Now, when it comes to choosing an LLM to work with, there are so many options out there. You might have heard of ChatGPT. I'm sure you have if you're in this course. And ChatGPT has gotten a ton of attention and is undoubtedly impressive. But I've found that other LLMs like Claude and Gemini deliver much better results, at least at the time of recording this. And like I said, things are always changing in this space. It's a really big race at the moment. But I feel like Claude and Gemini really just get me. And so ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are my top three. Let's go behind the scenes of those now. So here we are in ChatGPT, and this may look slightly different for you depending on when you're watching this video because, again, things are changing all the time in this space. Now, this is the plus version, the paid version of ChatGPT, and the paid version, for me, is what unlocks its standout feature, which are the GPTs. So even on the free version, you should be able to access the GPTs, but if you want to create a custom version of ChatGPT, which allows you to give extra instructions and knowledge to get very, very specific outputs, to me, this is the highlight feature of ChatGPT and why I still sometimes use it, and that's why it can be worth paying for. Otherwise, I don't use ChatGPT very often anymore. And by the way, we'll get into these GPTs a little bit later inside this course. So moving into Gemini, I love Gemini. And the reason why Gemini is probably still my favorite, although Claude arguably is better and gives better outputs for me. You'll see me use it a lot in this course. The reason why Gemini, I would still say, is my number one is because of all the integrations with Google. So I am using, again, a premium version of Gemini. You don't need a premium version of any of these LLMs, and you will be able to get great results, even if you're using the free versions. Now, with Gemini, I'm signed up to Google One and an AI subscription that unlocks Gemini Advanced so that you get the most capable AI models available. And even better is that Gemini integrates when you have this membership with Gmail, with your Google Drive, and that makes it so much more powerful for me because I'm able to export all my content into Google Docs, and I'm able to upload Google Docs really easily. I'm able to use Gemini in Gmail. Like the feature set that you get, especially if you are a Google user, and that's what we use in our business as well, it's just phenomenal. So that's why I really love Gemini, even though Claude is the winner right now in terms of the best possible outputs, especially anything that involves creating content. So when I'm working on content, I almost always these days work with Claude. And again, there's quite a race going on right now. So ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and other models, they continue to get better and better and better and like get ahead of each other just a little bit. And so when you're watching this video, things might be a little bit different. I'm also using the professional plan of Claude so that I have its latest and most advanced model. I find that you can still get really amazing results though with Claude, just the free version. So you'll see me work with Claude a lot as we move through this program. Creating a successful partnership with your LLM of choice is about more than just the technical stuff. It's about building a relationship based on trust, understanding, and shared goals. One of the ways that I've built a strong bond with, especially Claude and Gemini, is simply by chatting with them about all sorts of topics. The more we talk, the better they understand my perspective, values, and communication style. So let me show you an example of that now.
There are actually a lot of different ways that you can chat with your AI partner so that it can get to know you better for when you want support with something in the future, whether it's making a decision or creating content or getting advice or support with something that you are going through. And I find that the more you're having these conversations, the more it's able to capture your voice and style and these little nuances that hint at who you are, what your values are, what you care about. And this can get woven into the outputs in the future. And I find that over time, those outputs for me keep getting more effective and more useful for me in my life and in my business. So let's start with something pretty general. So this is a little more general. And you can also use the microphone for this as well. And I love doing that when I'm going for a walk. You can just chat back and forth. And that's a really fun way to do this as well, especially if you've downloaded the app. For now, I'm going to stay here on my laptop. So I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I'm always up for a chat. Happy to get to know you better. I'll definitely remember our conversation and everything about you so I can create content that's perfectly tailored to your needs in the future. This is why I like adding that to the prompt, asking Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you are using to remember what we're talking about. It's building that memory that helps you to get the better outputs over time. So now we can just continue here. I'm going to start here. There's the other question about what kind of content you're looking for, but I don't want to have the conversation go down that path quite yet. And we can go back and forth on this for a really long time. Sometimes I'll even give little updates on my day or something that I care about. And those are the things that you can ask it to remember, which can then get woven into when you're creating content or you need help with something. Now,